Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the former MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons as they match up with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, I hope you prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
Strap in. This will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Deshaun Watson ready to lead the Texans offense, coming off a great turnaround season in 2018. Remember, 2 years ago, he missed much of his rookie campaign with a knee injury, but he led the Texans to an 11-5 record and an AFC South title last year. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Watson now to throw. Going deep. It got his man. Complete. That one good for 37 yards. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. They'll be led out by Matt Ryan, NFL MVP back in 2016 and now in his 12th year in the league.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up, and we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
On 2nd down now, it's Freeman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. He's airing it out for Sanu, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And now out comes Houston. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Watson with a give to Miller. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. Set up shop at the 27-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, get a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Here's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it staring at a 3rd down and 13. 3rd and long, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. Touchdown, Falcons! Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, with the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. Open man, the tight end falls. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. And sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Sanu on the catch. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play wildcat quarterback for you as well.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They run, Devontae Freeman. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. He's at the 30. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up first and goal at the 5.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they? Well,
they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Back 25. Kill.
On first down, Ryan. That is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been...
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. On the return, Carter. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we head up to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Philip Dorsett, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. John Brown, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And out of a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7. That time on the first down run. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 yards on the play, first down. They'll run here with Freeman. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Smith is the lone man in the backfield here as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Ryan. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Hooper, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
That's fielded in the end zone. Pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
On 2nd and 10, Watson underneath for Miller. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, here's Watson. That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Watson off play action. This is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards on the play, first down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Zach Cunningham picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just one 4th quarter comeback for the QB. Well, this pass complete. Ryan finding Hardy. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Ryan. He's got Hooper on the short connection, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Ryan. Caught by Sanu. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, Freeman. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. So the defensive front holding strong there on 4th and inches.
And how about the battle of big people up front? That turned into a leverage game, didn't it? Defensive linemen, they won it. Lower than the offensive guys, pushed them back, knifed through, and made a great play.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Johnson. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, that would give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field. But guess what? This one's now just about over.
And now out comes Houston, and they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Throwing now, Watson, rolling to his right, going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They go to Johnson again. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2.
Tight down. There you go.
A shotgun snap for Watson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's Ryan. Now in desperation, he's got a man complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So with just a second to play, we'd have to see something crazy here for them to have a chance. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and the people who really enjoyed this game, they're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Texans, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.